Welcome to Debunking Money Myths, where financial guides break down the biggest misconceptions about your money, one myth at a time. Meet your guides, Jayne and Tyler, here to question the financial rules we've all been told to follow. Myth number 1. A good credit score is the biggest marker of financial success and stability.
The credit industry is shady, okay? It's a made-up number where they were trying to assess someone's risk. It's really just an algorithm. It is not a marker of financial success. You can have tons of debt and have a really good credit score. And vice versa, you can have no debt and you can be cash flowing all of your expenses with a low or no credit score. So your credit score is one indicator that a lender is going to use, but it's definitely not a marker of financial success or stability.
Myth number 2. I waited too long to save for retirement.
Well, we've all heard that saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. It's true. It's not just a saying, and it really does apply to everything, including retirement. While I would have loved to have seen you in your early years putting away a lot into that 401k, that 403b, or an IRA, you can start today, and every dollar counts. And you're going to get that compound interest, and we're going to build towards a secure and sustainable retirement.
Myth number 3. Carrying a credit card balance helps your credit score.
Ooh, this one gets me. Okay, really what we want to look at, 30% is our magic number here. Okay, it's 30% of your credit score. And we also want to see that you are using 30% or less of your credit limit at any given time. Which means you don't have to carry balance. We would actually prefer that you pay your credit cards off every single month because your credit companies are reporting randomly. It's not like your bill is due on the 15th and they're reporting on the 16th. They can be reporting anytime in there. And so we want to pay it off. They're going to report a balance. But also with that 30%, if you make a large purchase, let's say you're using 50% of your credit limit and you have the money to pay it off and you do pay it off, but they reported in that time frame when that balance was on your card, they're now showing a 50% utilization. So always make sure your balance is less than 30% if possible and pay that card off every single month in full.
Myth number 4. Saving isn't worth it if you can only save a small amount.
This just isn't true. It doesn't matter how much you're saving, we're working that saving muscle. And it's very important to learn how to do it now, even if it's only saving a little, so that as we can improve your financial situation and we can increase that positive net cash flow, that we can make sure that we've built in the good habit, so when there's big amounts of money to save, we can do it.
Myth number 5. You should wait until you're debt-free to start investing.
This is a total myth because investing, credit, debt, it really comes down to the habit, right? It comes down to if you have the skills to invest. And if you wait until you're debt-free, you haven't been working that muscle the whole time. Now, should we be investing a ton while we're paying off our debt? Probably not, right? There's a right priority order to go into, but at the very minimum, we want to make sure that we are participating in our employer's retirement plan and getting that match.
Myth number 6. I have enough money, I don't need a budget.
This is something that I hear often, and a lot of people think just because they're high income earners, and technically they can cash flow their expenses, and generally at the end of the month, they aren't hitting zero in the checking account. The problem with that is that we're not being strategic, and we might be missing out on opportunities to optimize our cash flow. And maybe we do need to restrain our discretionary spending, even if we have a great income. We can create a lot of new great opportunities, and we need a budget to do that. So again, even if you have enough money, we still need a budget.
Myth number 7. Having a high income is what defines financial stability and success.
When I was really early in my career, I was talking with someone who is much more seasoned, and they told me a story that was really impactful. And they said that they had a high income earner come to their office and they said, "I want to retire." They looked at all of their information, their debts, their assets, and at the end of that conversation, he had a tough call to say, you need to sell some of these things. You cannot continue to move on this financial path with financial stability. It was not the outcome that that person wanted. On the flip side, he had someone who worked his entire career as a janitor, didn't have a huge income, came in, sat down and said, when I retire, I want to buy a Harley. So they went through all of his information, and at the end of their appointment, he said, go buy your Harley. Financial stability and financial success is not a one-size-fits-all type of definition that we can give. It really depends on you and what you want out of your finances and your goals and your future.
Myth number 8. I could fix my financial problems if I just ate out and ordered in less.
This is something that we see a lot on social media right now, but the truth is it's not really informed by good personal finance. So yes, maybe you are eating out a little bit too much, but when you think about it, what's that latte cost? $5, $6, $7? Let's imagine that your rent or your mortgage is taking up 40 or 50% of your take-home pay. That could be a very significant issue, and no amount of lattes are actually going to cause that problem. So it's not just ordering in and it's not just eating out, it's your overall financial situation.
Myth number 9. Owning a home means I am financially ahead of my peers.
Well, really, owning a home is a marker of financial stability if you can afford it, right? If we can't afford a large purchase, it doesn't mean you're ahead of anyone. It means that you're jeopardizing your own financial stability. And so, in our culture as a whole, we like to compare ourselves to our peers or to other people, right? Keeping up with the Joneses. And what we see on the outside has no indication of whether you are ahead or behind of somebody else behind those closed doors. So comparison is the thief of joy and sometimes financial progress. So it's okay if someone else owns a home or if you own a home ahead of your peers. Really be focusing on your own situation and what's creating financial stability for you.
Myth number 10. Budgeting is too restrictive for me.
Let's be honest. Budgeting is not too restrictive. It's freeing. It gives you the information you need to make fully informed decisions about the things that are related to your goals. The spending that you do every month needs to be done in a way that's working towards your goals. And if you're not using a budget, you're not working towards that eventual financial freedom that you want to have.
Thanks for watching Debunking Money Myths. If today's myths got you thinking or rethinking your money habits, we are just getting started. Subscribe for more myth-busting insights, and remember, smart money moves start with asking the right questions.